Hello, it's Victoria from Coastal Themes and I am back with another tutorial, and this time I'm doing a longer tutorial and I'm going to be showing you how to make your own link and bio page, so you don't have to pay a monthly subscription to have a really cool link and bio page on any of the link and bio services out there, although they are fantastic. You can make this yourself, you can customize it yourself, you can add any extra elements yourself and host it on Framer, which is awesome. So we've also incorporated a few extra bits in this video, which we haven't covered in previous tutorials, so we will cover them shortly, but I will show you how to be adding light mode, dark mode, which is amazing, a nice feature on Framer, which we have yet to use. We've got light mode, dark mode, and we also, if I preview this, you can see we have some nice appearing animations. So let me reload. You can see the profile floats in, and we also have all the links which float in. So I'm going to be duplicating this. Duplicate. And there we go. Drag this down. And we're actually going to be deleting everything on this page. Goodbye. So we're going to be starting this from scratch. So hopefully we'll have something very similar, if not exactly the same, to this at the end of this tutorial, and you will know exactly how to make it. So we're going to click on our frame, which is showing as a breakpoint. Obviously, this is your first screen. It will show as desktop like it does at the top. So you've got your screen. And I'm going to lightly touch on light mode, dark mode, but feel free to just keep it as your regular mode styling, because when you're using light mode and dark mode, you need to use your color styles. And we don't tend to dig deep into color styles when we do these tutorials, just because we address them on smaller and shorter videos, but I will show you how to make fun styles with light mode, dark mode enabled. So I'm going to delete this, click on the background, come down to styles, and then click fill, and you've got your normal color picker. And let's change the colors for this one, why don't we? So let's make it a nice greeny color, because after all, she is a yoga instructor and she works for Surfsets, our favorite surf company. Click on styles, click on the plus icon, and now you can see you can name your style. We'll call it blue background just to be explanatory. And you've got this, the sun, which is your light mode, and the dark, which is your dark mode. So it doesn't preview this, you have to kind of set it yourself. If you have your entire branding, all your brand colors, all your logos, all your fonts, obviously apply these as you would normally. So we're just gonna pick these for today and make it as fun as we'd like. I'm gonna create this background. So now we have this blue background, which shows our light mode, but as soon as we flick to dark mode, the background changes. And actually, I don't think it's dark enough. So let's click here again, edit this. You can edit the style easily here. I'm gonna drag it a little darker. There we go, cool, super nice. Almost like green, sea green. So now we have this nice background, and play with this as much as you'd like. So now we're going to start with our notice bar at the top. So all this is hit your frame, create a frame, create the width and the height of it. So width to fill the entire screen. Height is, we'll make ours 40. Width 100%, perfect. So let's add our color styles to this. I won't go through color styles on every single element, just because we want this to still be quite a quick tutorial for you guys, but you would create another color style like we have here. We have notice bar. When you edit it, when you're creating your color style, again, set your light mode and your dark mode. So create a dark mode, which is going to be lighter. Perfect. So now switch to dark mode, that's light, and vice versa. And you can adjust these and change them as you would like. We're going to make it a little darker. That's cool. Perfect. So now we're going to drop our text into this. So click the text icon up here, and we're going to click and drag into this. I'm using the font Roboto Mono today. Loving this font recently. And we will set that, make sure that it's sitting inside your frame. There we go. Center and center. And scroll down and adjust the colors as you would like. Perfect. So now you can see the spacing's a bit weird. We want this height to fit the content, and the width can also fit the content. Click on this full frame. So this is our notice bar. Rename this. And we're going to add a layout to this. So layout just allows us to keep everything fixed. When I move it around, it all stays. If I duplicate something, it's like auto layout on Figma. If you know, you know. So you've got our layout applied, and you can even adjust the padding around. If you want loads of padding at the bottom, you can add all the padding in the world. The top section is comprised of a profile picture, a name, and the company, and a location. And sadly today, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I'm not in LA, I'm not in Cape Town, I am in sad, actually sunny London, which is rare. So we're going to come over here, click on frame, and we're going to create a nice big-ish frame. And you can see why is everything shifting around. It's like there's auto layout applied to this whole page. It's because we're going to do it at the end, but we're going to remove it for now. We've got a layout on the entire page, which is making this a stack, which is making everything move around quite systematically. I'm going to remove this just for the sake of build. So remove that, and now everything is absolutely positioned. You can drop it wherever you like. So now we have this placeholder for a profile picture. We'll add a nice radius, make it quite big, and we will change the size. I want this to be 88, staying in my rule of 8s as always. Center, and then here you would obviously click on fill. Come over to image, you might choose your own image. I'm just going to choose a nice Unsplash image. She's a yoga instructor, she's cool, she lives by the beach, I wish. I'm going to choose this picture from Unsplash, and Unsplash is super great that it's just here. You don't have to copy paste things over. Okay, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. No, oh, not 9, 96 and 96, perfect. Perfect, so now what's next? Now we have our name and our company and our cool pill, which we've designed, super easy to design. So we're going to come back down to our page. We're going to click the text box. What is my name? My name is Victoria B. We're going to fit the content. So now that this text box is wrapping the content inside, and we're going to change our color styles. Perfect. So here you would want to add a style which would have a dark mode, light mode. So I've got this H1 text, which will change to light when it's in dark mode and dark when it's in light mode. So play around with those as you wish. And then we'll create another title. I'm actually going to call this Coastal Themes because that's where I'm working, Coastal Themes. And we're going to make this a little lighter. We'll use our H2 coloring. We'll make this 12. So now we have this fun header section. We need to add our pill now. So come over here, click on frame, and create a frame. So you can see, whoa, that blue is back. It's crazy. We're going to make this 40 to make this a nice pill shape, and we'll change the fill. We're actually going to copy this style. I believe we have that. I'll use the notice bar styling. Actually, I might change it a bit. We'll make it somewhat transparent looking. We'll create a new style. What's our dark mode going to be? Dark mode's going to be darker. Let's see what that looks like. That's cool. Maybe even darker for dark mode. Pill 2, dark mode, a little bit darker. Cool, perfect. So now we're going to drop some text in here. We're going to use our text box, and we're going to write our Saturday location. London summer is not what I thought it was going to be. It's not as sunny as I needed it to be. So click on that text, Come down here, adjust the text as you wish. Maybe 12 is perfect. Change that height to fit and width to fit. And then you're probably thinking, well, the text is floating off the sides. We want to apply that layout. And that will allow us to add our padding all around. So start by changing the height to fit the content and the width to fit the content. And you can see that this is now snug with the text inside. So then you can come here to padding and start playing around with the padding on the top, which I'm going to make 6. Ooh, maybe 4. Bottom 4, right 12, left 12. And you can adjust this as you like. Maybe you want that slimmer, maybe you want that less. But you can just play with this to get that nice pill styling that we love to see. Okay, so now we have our top section, and we're going to start adding in this is basically just a stack with rows, which is amazing. So easy to do. So we're going to come over here and create rows. Click and drag to the width you would like. We're going to center that, and now you can see we have all these frames inside. We're going to create around that many, as many as you need. The top row we are using for social media icons. The rest of them will be normal links, as you would expect. So you can change you can see that when I resize this, the width, the height of the frames inside automatically adjust. So what we're going to do is, to create this exact styling, we're going to select all the frames inside. We're going to remove the fills, and then we're going to click on the stack. We see we have a layout applied, which makes it a stack. We've got gaps. We're going to make that 0. And then click on all the frames again. And then you want to add a border. And I'm going to make this probably the same color as here. And then you want to make sure that the width of your border is whatever you'd like it to be. And then we want the border to only appear at the bottom. So that's where you just click this icon here. You click 0, 0, 0. And actually, we'll keep this as 1. So now we only have the border on the bottom half, which is fab. We're going to remove this for the first one, and you'll see why. It's because I'm adding our social media icons here. So click the plus button, come down to icons, and the great part about Frame is that they give you all these icon sets. So we're going to choose feather icons, and that just drops a random feather icon here. We're going to click into our frame. This is our first frame. Paste this icon. Let's center it, resize it. We'll make ours 24. And then you can scroll down and you can see the feather section, and that will give you a list of all the icons you could ever need. So you've got your Instagram. You can change the color of this. So we'll change it to black. And then we can duplicate this, scroll down again, change it to a male icon. Amazing. So now we can build out all the icons we need. And that's just, everything's in Frame, everything's where you need it. We're going to come back up to layout, and we're going to click on plus to make this more structured. And we're going to make sure that we have the right padding. I actually want this a little wider, maybe 16. And then we can start building out our links. So we've got our amazing social media icons, and now we'll build out our links. So let's create a text box, and we're going to click and drag, and this is a link. Yes, it is. So we're going to fit the height, fit the width, duplicate this. We've got these cool funky numbers on the right hand side, which gives it a nice structure. You can see how it's done here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so now we have this, and I'm going to just change the sizing of this to be a little bigger, because this is why everyone's here. Everyone wants to see my links. Click layout. And now you can see when I add layout, it distributes them in the center. What you want to do is distribute space between, but now you need borders on the right and left hand side. So you can add padding all around, but that will just change the height of this as well, which we've spent so long getting perfectly narrow, but not too narrow. So change the right to be 16. Actually, we'll make this 32. That's better. And left 32. And now you can see we have our first link. And what we can do is duplicate this. We'll delete all our other frames. We'll duplicate this. Oh, there we go. And we'll duplicate once again. And you can create as many as you would like. All you have to do is remember to change the numbering to, you have to manually update the numbers. But that's the great thing about making your own link in bio, is that you can change anything. If you don't want the numbers, remove the numbers. So now we have our stack with all our links. So all that's left to do is add our Spotify, which is obviously optional. So we're going to click on the plus icon here, come to media, click on Spotify, and you can see we get this weirdly sized Spotify embed. So we're going to change the content. So there's two kind of ways that the Spotify looks. They give you like a wide view, but then if you immediately downsize it and change the height, it becomes this narrow view, which is the one I'm going to use. We're going to center this. And there we go. That is the basics of building your own link in bio. And now what we want to do at the end is just to make this structurally really nice so we can move things around. You can edit things, is hit layout. Click on your entire screen, hit layout. And now, whoa, we messed up the spacing. We didn't, it's okay. So you don't want to adjust the spacing like this anymore. You want to make sure that all these things are grouped. Right click on it and add a frame. And then we can add layout and change our gaps of this. We'll make it 8. And then we can add our padding. We're going to add padding to the top. We'll make that 32. And to the bottom, we will actually just leave it as 8. And then we can adjust this stack. We want to add some padding to the bottom, 32 as well. You can see when I add padding, all the stack resizes, so you can play around with that sizing again. So now that there's not too little space between this stack and this Spotify embed. So now what you're thinking is, okay, cool, it works. Let me add my cool appear effects, which we have going on this page. The profile picture floats in, as do all these elements, all these links. So I'll come back here and I'm going to click on the profile picture here, come down to effects and click appear. Trigger is on appear when the element loads onto the page. We're going to slide in from the bottom, click on effect, and you can see you can change the opacity, everything. I'm going to leave these as is. I'm going to click on transition, which is currently set to spring, and we're going to make it ease. And we're going to change the delay and the time of the animation. So I'm going to make it 0.6, and we're going to have an animation delay of 0.6 as well. So now you can see the offset. This means that the animation is starting 150 pixels down. So you can see this whole box has extended, but I only wanted to float up from a short distance away from where it's going to sit eventually. So I'm going to make it 24. And you can see this box stays a little smaller. And then we want to address all these links. So I'm going to click each separate one, come down to effects, and click appear as well. Well, same on appear. We're going to slide in from the bottom, click effects, make the offset again really small. We're going to make it 16. Change this to ease, add a time. We're going to make it delayed 0.6, and we're going to make it a 0.6 animation speed. So now I'm going to play this for you. What I'm actually going to do is just increase the size of this, make sure that this is fitting the content and fitting the content perfect. And then we're going to hit play. So that is the one. The other one is a breakpoint. Here's the other one. We're going to reload this. You can see that everyone on the page loads in and slides up nicely. So it just adds a little bit of movement to the page. And then all that's left is to add our mobile. So I'm going to use this page up here. We're going to hit breakpoint and hit phone. And you can see, because we have stacks set up, that mobile typically looks okay. But what we will want to do is change the width of this stack, literally by clicking on the entire stack and dragging it in. And we're going to make it just a little closer, 8 pixels away from either side. I can change the width of my Spotify. I might want to change the size of this, change the size of the text. It's quite small. Perfect. So now there's a few other things I might change. So there we have it. So now the design has animation, it is responsive. Now all we need to do is make things link. So we're going to click on this icon, and we know adding links is super easy. All we have to do is wrap these. So specifically for these ones, we have to wrap. So right click, click add frame, and right click, click add frame. And once you've selected that frame, you can now add a link. So link to your Instagram and your mail. What you want to do for mail is click mail to. You just type in mail to and you add your email. So that's how you add links to your icons, but to these stacks, you can link the entire stack. So click on the row, come to link, and simply paste in the URL if it's on your site. If it's on the same site, you can obviously link to the page, but if it's a different site, you can just add the URL and decide whether you wanted to open a new tab or not. And there you have it. If there's anything else you want to link, feel free. You may want to link this notice bar. Again, you can click on the entire stack to link, make the whole thing a hyperlink, or just click on the text. And all these links will also apply to your mobile as well. So there you have it. That is how you create your own link in bio. No need to buy a subscription to another link in bio. You can create this all from your Framer and use your Framer subscription instead, which is amazing. We've got cool animations, we have everything which links, and you can use our remix link below. We have 2 options. You can use this style of link in bio. We also have another style which you are welcome to use, and you can find that below. That's all free for you. And if there's anything else you'd like to learn, anything you need help with creating your link in bio page, feel free to drop a comment below, and we will be back with more tutorials very soon. See you soon.